Hello, my name is Jaden. If you're new to my channel, I usually make vlogs, but I'm here to make my first movie review, okay? It is Plankton, the movie. Now, let me give you a little background on me, okay? I grew up a SpongeBob watcher, all right? I'm 23 years old. I probably stopped watching SpongeBob like 2013 or whatever, okay? I watched the SpongeBob movie. I watched Sponge Out of Water. I have not seen any of the new stuff or any other movies though, okay? So this is the perspective I'm going in with, okay? I have made a extremely detailed review, okay? There is so many pages I have, okay? This is thorough. Let me say this too one time before I get started. There is spoilers in this, okay? This is my first movie review. I don't know how to make a review without giving spoilers, okay? So this is gonna be a full spoiler review, all right? But that's okay. You're just here you're not gonna watch this movie. Don't watch the movie. Okay, let's start. First thing I wrote, Coco Melon type visuals, okay? It had like the super kind of realistic cartoon kind of style. You know, the super bright, super realistic, you know, super bright colors, you know, really trying to capture that 4-year-old's attention. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get them. So that was kind of a little bit of a throw off for me, but you know, I know that's how they make these now, so I just had to kind of accept that. It started with a song, okay? So now I haven't seen any trailers or anything about it. I didn't know what it was about, okay? So the song kind of threw me off because the song was trash. SpongeBob was on the vocals. It wasn't that good. I'm gonna be real, all right? I have heard better SpongeBob songs. They have made classics. That one was trash. Maybe the worst one I've heard. One thing I learned though early on, the Krusty Krabs closes at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Very interesting to me because this is apparently supposed to be the most popular restaurant. This is supposed to be the go-to place, okay? I get off at 7:30. So you're telling me that I cannot go to the Chum Bucket? I mean, not to the Chum Bucket. I can't go to the Krusty Krab and get me a burger to end my day from the best restaurant in town? That's gotta be, you are losing sales right there. Straight up. Anyway. Also a new thing. Sandy, Pearl, Karen, and Mrs. Puff are best friends. Not only are they best friends, they have a name. They're called the Gal Pals. Okay? That's interesting. Alright? They're at lunch or whatever, hanging, and Karen exposes that Plankton, hey, Plankton, guess what he's about to do? He's about to try to steal the Krusty Krab formula. She's saying this in front of Mr. Krabs' daughter. They're all joking, ha 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 ha, he's doing that today? Yeah, he's about to do it right now, right after this. And then if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna become evil. They were just all laughing and joking, okay? Plankton's pissed when he finds this out, justifiably so. Because first of all, is my wife is exposing my evil plans, not only to her friends, okay? Like, I understand my wife's gonna gossip, okay? I can't stop that. But she's saying this to my nemesis daughter, the one that I'm going to do the evil plans on. Are we serious? So of course he's pissed. I would be pissed too. And right after that, guess what? Another song. That's what I knew was a musical, okay? I was pissed off, all right? I'm not a big musical guy. Luckily, this song was Flames. It was called It on Plankton or something like that. It was catchy. Plankton was on his thing. I didn't really like Karen's verse. I mean, it was cool. But Plankton was really good with the catchy bars. I'll be honest. You know what happens. Classic. Plankton took an L. He could not get the recipe. So he goes back to the Chum Bucket. What does he see at the Chum Bucket? People eating. People eating chum. So Karen's all happy. She's like, hey, guess what, Plankton? I found this new recipe. I added a couple things to it. People are liking the chum. Now, Plankton is a smart man. He realizes. He's pissed about this. Because first of all, I only want to sell Krabby Patties here. This is the thing that people eat, okay? 2, he knows that this has a small shelf life. People aren't used to getting things from the Chum Bucket. They just see that it's open and they have food, so they're trying it, okay? They're like, ooh, it's yummy, but everybody thinks something's yummy the first time they eat it, okay? This has a small shelf life. At the end of the day, it is chum. Nobody wants this, okay? But whatever, I digress. So he throws a fit, right? He destroys the whole thing. He's like, ah, bah, 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 Now Karen's pissed, okay? Because he just destroyed everything. He kicked everybody out. But before he did, guess who he saw in there? SpongeBob eating chum. Okay? What is with SpongeBob and being a traitor? Okay? Because listen, I used to work at a pizza place. I did not go to other pizzas. I did not get pizzas from anywhere else other than the pizza place I worked, okay? I am a loyal customer. I'm loyal to the place I work. You would think that SpongeBob will be loyal and just eat, that yummy Krabby Patty, but no, he's eating chum. Okay? So, anyway, SpongeBob being a traitor. Karen, though, since Plankton ruined the whole thing, right? Kicked everybody out, destroyed the whole restaurant. She's pissed. She pretty much divorces Plankton, okay? Kicks him out, steals SpongeBob's spatula somehow, okay? We find out that she had like this magnetic device that did it. Now, she also, in anger, becomes a three-headed monster, okay? So like one is like regular Karen, one's like a super smart one, one's like a super evil one. Okay? She's looking all scary. I'm like, ooh, this is getting good. A song starts. Okay? Instantly ruining the scariness. Instantly makes Karen non-scary. SpongeBob's dancing, singing with the song. Okay? You just got your spatula taken, buddy. We know how important that spatula is to you. We have seen that episode where you get the fancy one, but you don't like it. It's not the same. You need good old reliable. Now you don't give a shit about it. You're singing and dancing with Karen. SpongeBob being a dumbass was a theme in this movie. I mean, we already knew he was, but it was out of control. Okay? Anyway. Song sucks. Alright? It took me out of focus. Anyway. Yeah, I wrote dumbass, yep. So what we find out is Karen took the chum bucket. It started floating in the air, okay? She has a magnetic force. She is taking the entire Bikini Bottom and it's just connecting to the floating chum bucket, okay? So there's a floating chum bucket that has all of the Bikini Bottom getting connected to it, okay? SpongeBob and Plankton run away. They're like, we gotta do something to figure this out. For some reason, SpongeBob decides, I need to hypnotize Plankton. Okay, interesting. We find out in this hypnosis, because we get Plankton's entire life story. Interesting, right? Interesting. Plankton made Karen out of a potato. That's interesting. I don't really know how, that happens, but okay. Eventually, him and the potato and the calculator as a face, which was a little funny because she kind of talked in only calculator, words. So, the classic when you're in school, you would write like great and, with the 8 and then hold it upside down. The funny classic stuff, but whatever. They end up going to college somehow. They say they're studying world domination. That's not a degree. How did they sign up for college? Okay. Very interesting. Plankton's family laughs at him. They're like, dude, you're stupid. You're walking around with a potato and a calculator you're talking to this whole time. Okay? You're not going to get through college. Plankton says he's going to kill his entire family for saying that. Very interesting. Okay? Let's continue though. By the way, this is hopping between the past and the present. So if I start hopping around and it gets a little confusing, I apologize. But we're going to continue. Mr. Krabs, since his restaurant's gone, he decides he needs to get an army together, okay? Now this is Squidward and just like 6 random people. They decide that they're going to shoot root beer barrels at the 3-headed Karen, okay? It works, whatever, gets her wet and all that stuff. But then before, she dies, I guess, because it's a computer, she goes up into the floating chum bucket where the entire Bikini Bottom has been connected to, and she just becomes one with them. Somehow it becomes like a supercomputer. So like Karen's almost like this godlike figure that's like in the air, like talking and just pretty much destroying the world. So Plankton and SpongeBob decide or realize that they have to go to college because Plankton has some old parts there. So he's thinking, hey, maybe I can get those parts together, make like a new Karen, and then like figure this out, how to destroy this current Karen that's destroying the world. So they're in college, right? We find out that Plankton was a loser. Okay, dude was getting bullied. Dude was, getting stepped on. He's small, all that stuff, right? He's carrying around a potato, talking to it, okay? He's getting straight F's because he's using Karen, who's a potato, to do schoolwork, and she's giving him F's, right? Stupid. So, he decides, I need to upgrade Karen, okay? Now, when he upgrades her, he becomes the Karen that we know today. The regular Karen, that's the box TV. So now Karen's a little smarter, and when he put her together, he put like 4 computer chips in her, like 1 empathy, 1 smarts, 1 sassy. Why? I don't know. And the 1, I don't really know. Who cares? So she's smarter now. So they start figuring things out. Okay, they end up making this device that freezes things. Okay. It ends up working. Karen freezes his roommate, okay, that he's living with in college. They just shove him into a closet. Murder, okay? I mean, he was going to get stepped on, which, you could say was murder too, so it could be a little self-defense action, depending on what state they live in. But, very interesting. I think I just saw a murder on TV. But anyway. SpongeBob and Patrick end up going into the basement. They find all the classic L inventions, okay? We even see the chum hats that they wore on the original movie. That was a funny callback. Just all the old inventions that Plankton tried to make in order to save or to steal the recipe, right? So that was a little cool, right? But anyway, after Karen and Plankton, they leave college, so now we're back in the past. When Karen and Plankton leave college, they have this little freeze thing. So they're like, all right, let's do some damage and destroy the world, right? They go up to Earth, so they come out of the sea, right? Now they're on the beach. But obviously, they're small because they're in the ocean. It's like a little toy compared to these humans, right? Us. So this little kid steps on him, tries to step on him, misses, throws him in a bucket, thinks it's like some little toy, and ends up throwing it back in the water with the bucket. The bucket gets lost, okay? This bucket actually is the chum bucket. So that's kind of cool, right? That's like a cool little callback, So now we know how the chum bucket went to the ocean, so that's kind of cool. So after they took this L trying to take over the world, they decide they want to go to the best restaurant in the world that apparently closes at 7 p.m. And they go to the Krusty Krab. They overhear Mr. Krabs talking though. And he's like, yeah, this sandwich, this is it. Because apparently, I think it just opened. So this sandwich is smacking. It's going to take over the world. More in like a food sense. But Plankton was like, take over the world? That's what I need to do. So he's like, I got to steal this recipe so that I can take over the world. That's how his hatred kind of came with that. Okay, cool. So Karen, though, she's kind of reluctant. This isn't really kind of her idea, but you know what? This is who she's been with. This is her ride or die. She's like, no way we're going to be doing this forever. They've been doing it forever. So she's like, all right, I guess I'll do it. Okay? Now, we go back to the present. Okay? While we're figuring this out, Plankton apparently made a new Karen with the old parts. Okay? It's a cooler one. It's a bigger version, so that's kind of cool. So now he's going to use this new Karen that he made that was made with college parts to go against this current Karen. Okay, that's a 3-headed monster. They throw hands or whatever, okay? But since they're both Karen, they just become besties. And they just form into one super ultra powerful Karen, okay? So now Bikini Bottom's fully gone. SpongeBob's pissed, calls him a loser and a jerk, okay? Him calling him a jerk, sadly, leads to a song later. But anyway. We find out that, because now we find out, wait, did I skip a paper? Yeah, no, we didn't. But we do find out during all this stuff that the roommate that they froze like 25 years ago is still alive, but frozen. And guess what they do? Just leave him frozen. Who gives a shit about this guy, right? It's not like he's not been frozen for 25 years. He hasn't aged and he doesn't have a life and a family, right? Who cares, right? Anywho, we also see in his closet, or like it was like beside his closet, he had a baddie on as a poster. Looked like it could have been like a Marilyn Monroe of a fish. She was a baddie, I can't lie. And this is where they left the roommate to die. So, interesting, right? Like I said, terrible song starts. Okay, he's sad about being a jerk, but then he's like, wait a minute, I've always been a jerk, so he's happy about it? I don't know. So, now we're back to the future. Well, you know, they were in the future when they sung that song, but anyway, or the present. Karen tries to destroy Plankton because SpongeBob's like, screw you, and he walks away, right? So Karen's like, all right, now Plankton, easy dub, I'm gonna kill you, right? SpongeBob out of nowhere saves Plankton with Sandy, Pearl, and what is that bitch's name? Sandy. Man, just the big three. Whatever the hell. What are their names? Now it's gonna bother me. Puff, Pearl, Puff, and Sandy. Why was that so hard? They end up saving him by like driving. They like scoop him while driving. Okay, they drive all the way to the Gal Pals undercover hangout. Now they're trying to figure it out. Why is Karen evil? Blah blah blah. She was our bestie. Dummies. She just told you that this was gonna be her plan if Plankton didn't get the secret formula. So why are you guys even shocked? Anyway. You know, we go in the past, we see Karen and Plankton get married. You know, that was cool, you know, happy to see their love story and all that stuff, right? Turns out though, the reason why she's all this evil Karen is because she took out her empathy chip, okay? So Plankton's like, oh, okay, bet. We just gotta put the empathy chip back in her, then she's straight. But then Sandy's like, no, we're her best friends. You have to apologize. It doesn't matter about the chip. Okay, I guess so. But like, is this the real world or are we watching SpongeBob SquarePants? Just put the chip back in and then it's gonna be fine. Okay? Anyway, guess what? SpongeBob had it in his pocket the whole time. Another dumbass moment, right? He could have gave that to Plankton. Anyway, now they're forcing Plankton to apologize. Okay, when has Plankton ever been sorry his entire life? Now we're making Plankton into someone he isn't? Anywho. So not only do they do that, Sandy opens his head up, shoves the empathy thing into his brain. So now Plankton has so much empathy, okay? He goes on a legit acid trip, okay? If you watch this scene, there's no other way to describe it other than it looking like an acid trip, okay? It's an acid trip with all the happy memories. Suddenly, he sees like some sad memories, and then he's like, I'm sorry. He like wakes up from his acid trip, okay? Plankton is weird for the rest of this movie. He is too loving. He's too caring, okay? It's very weird. This isn't the Plankton that we know, but I guess let's continue for the story. All right? We get a Gal Pals montage because they're like, let's defeat Karen, blah, blah, blah. Okay? They end up going inside Karen because Karen is some like a monster thing that's in the sky, right? They end up going in her, right? From the bottom, trying to go up, okay? SpongeBob and Plankton, I wrote so stupid in all caps because they had this weird lovey-dovey like friendship going on while we're trying to save the world, and it's distracting the Gal Pals. Anyway, they find Patrick in Karen. I guess I didn't say that. When the Bikini Bottom was getting getting magnetically brought, and the Krusty Krab got magnetically connected to the Chum Bucket, Patrick's dumbass was in there for some reason, so he's still in there, of course, right? Gal Pals, they fight the three-headed monster. So this is like a 3v3 action. It goes back and forth, but the Gal Pals end up winning, okay? So SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton, while they're throwing hands, they decide we're going to go up to the top to try to get Plankton to apologize to Karen. Patrick's too fucking fat, so he pushes Plankton out of the elevator. So now Plankton has to find a whole nother way. Anyway, I wrote in all caps next, hate positive Plankton. He was being mad positive throughout this whole thing, okay? Instead of yelling at Patrick for being fat, it caused this whole issue where now he isn't being himself and he's happy to be screwed in this situation. Gal Pals win, like I said. Eventually, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton meet up, okay? They meet up at the top. But when they meet Plankton, the empathy chip in his brain is fried, okay? It's starting to fry. So he's given a little bipolar action, okay? Plankton's a little bipolar now, but that's okay. So what Plankton tells him to do is, SpongeBob, Patrick, go to the control room, okay, to try to shut this whole thing down. I'm going to apologize to Karen, okay? When they go down, okay, let me get closer so I can really you guys understand what I'm about to say here. When SpongeBob and Patrick are going down to the control room, okay, they end up getting an ice cream cone because this is SpongeBob SquarePants, okay? They are falling down. Somehow, the ice cream cone falls. The cone is in an upward trajectory, okay? It goes directly up Patrick's ass, okay? Patrick is excited about this, okay? He gives a whoa! Very excited to have this ice cream cone directly up his ass, okay? Loki sits in it for a while before he reacts to it. He's like, whoa! All right, what are we doing here, Nickelodeon? What are we doing here? This is a kid's movie? Let's continue. So, Plankton, he gets up to the top, right? Now he's with Karen 1v1, all right? One of the very first things he says is that, hey, I understand your pain now. I have this empathy chip in my brain. This dude is supposed to be apologizing, and he sells that the only reason why he's apologizing is because he has an empathy chip in his brain. So now Karen's like, oh, okay, Ben, you're only doing this because of the empathy chip. Bro, started getting flashbacks. Anyway. He starts apologizing, and Karen isn't feeling it because of this, all right? So Karen's like, listen, I know what you want, throws in the secret formula, all right? Plankton's like, I don't need the secret formula, you're my secret formula. Corny, but it worked. He pulled it out in the 9th inning, for real. Anyway, calls her, you're the evil genius, you're the secret formula. You were the jelly to my peanut butter. Like, that's what he's saying to her, glazing her pretty much, right? She forgives him, they kiss, okay? They are now like, okay, bet, let's destroy the world, right? So they go up from the ocean. Now they're huge, right? Because they're the bikini, they took all the Bikini Bottom to make like one super, like, monster thing, right? So they're all hyped, let's go, we're gonna destroy the world, right? But SpongeBob and Patrick still in the control room. They end up destroying the control room, right? So now, right when they're about to destroy the world, SpongeBob and Patrick somehow save it, okay? So their whole machine thing comes apart, and then eventually, or it ends up becoming the Bikini Bottom, right? The Bikini Bottom's back to normal now, okay? So, everything's back to normal, but guess what? These people want to murder Plankton now, okay? Because Plankton, you just did all this to us. So Mr. Krabs is leading the way like, hey, we got to get something done. So right before they go to murder Plankton, SpongeBob's like, stop. And they're like, why? He just tried to destroy our world. And SpongeBob's like, because I love a love story. And they're all like, wait, I do love a love story. Yay, let's not kill him. So they decide not to kill Plankton. And yeah, the end. So how do I feel about this movie? I would rate this movie a 2 out of 10. Okay? This movie is trash. I assume that it's... I haven't seen all the SpongeBob movies, but I assume it's the worst one. Okay? This movie was trash. I did not have a fun watch. Okay? This movie was less than an hour and a half, and for the last 40 minutes, I was counting down the time. Okay? I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't doing nothing. Right? I was locked in. I have like 6 pages of notes there. This movie was terrible. Okay? They never should have continued SpongeBob. Okay, SpongeBob was supposed to end after the first movie. All right? Whatever, they continued it for a couple more years. There were some classics that came out of that, so I appreciate it. But SpongeBob should not still be getting made in the year 2025. Okay? This is not the SpongeBob that we grew up watching. Okay? This new generation is getting a different SpongeBob. Okay? They are rewriting history. Okay? This SpongeBob that these kids are getting, all right, is a trash version of SpongeBob. So when they get older and we talk about, you know, because we're going to be unks and aunties, right, 30s, 40s, and we talk about how SpongeBob was a classic. It was legendary, right? These 20-year-olds are going to be like, SpongeBob was trash. SpongeBob was trash. It was not trash. SpongeBob was the absolute classic, okay? One of the greatest TV shows of all time. But in the year 2025, they are tarnishing their legacy, okay? This is like that one sports athlete that won't retire, that's just trashing their stats the last 3 years. So, yeah, SpongeBob is tarnishing their legacy because Nickelodeon wants to make a buck. Straight up. This movie was dog shit. I do not recommend it at all. If you've gotten through this far, you don't need to see the movie. You just got the movie from me, okay? Anyway, if you've gotten this far, that's insane. This movie, this video is long as hell. Okay, congratulations to you. This has been Jaden. I'm sure these movie reviews will be shorter. I probably will do some more. I don't know what I'm gonna review. Just whatever random movie I want to watch, I will review. But I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, peace.